Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp. As we start on the NFC and our NFL Future Odds updates, it's time to take a look at the NFC East, and the team that won that division just last year comes in as the favorite once again to win it this season, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles, who have a Super Bowl price from Bovada Sportsbook at 25-1 to win the big game this season. And even though I think their prices are pretty solid this offseason, you have to think that the Eagles might be in line for a little bit of regression after a very good season in 2013. Of course, they won the division, pretty much came out of nowhere with Chip Kelly as a very solid future odds value after last season. And this division seems to be wide open, and even though the Eagles should be considered the favorite, I don't think they're that much farther ahead than the other three teams in this division. A couple in mind that I'll get into a little bit later. But the Eagles probably aren't going to have the same sort of successes as they did last season. Now that we have 16 games of tape on Chip Kelly's offense, I think other coaches are going to be able to game plan a little bit better for the Eagles this offseason. And their division should be better as well. The Redskins should be healthier and better this season. The Giants should be a lot better, and the Cowboys, even though their defense probably won't be that good, their offense is going to be pretty prolific as well. So there's going to be some challengers in this division, and I wouldn't be surprised if the all four teams finish within 3 games of one another, leaving this division pretty much open to interpretation. And the Eagles as favorites, you really don't see a very good price for them here if that is indeed the case. Their NFC price, I think, is a little bit overvalued at 14-1. Their Super Bowl price at 25-1 seems pretty solid, but at 14-1 plus 1,400 to win the division, can't really put the Eagles in the value category right now. Have a lot of competitors in that NFC division, and even if they do win this division, you have to think they'll probably host a home game against the team that does not win either the NFC West or the NFC North. Both games are situations would likely end in a loss, with the Eagles possibly even being home underdogs in that situation against a team like the 49ers or Seahawks, whichever one doesn't finish in that division, or the Bears and the Packers, probably from the NFC North, looks to be where the other wild card team in the NFC is going to come from. And at 14-1 for them to beat them and then go on the road and win 2 more games, potentially, assuming they are probably the 3rd or 4th team in that conference at the end of the season, can't really suspect the Eagles to have much value in the NFC. Now their NFC East price is at plus 130 right now from Bovada Sportsbook, and even though that's a little bit overvalued, I would not fault you for wanting to take this bet. It's actually a pretty solid value. Like I said, the Eagles are probably the favorite in this division. They probably are the best team, but they're not quite better. They're not quite that much better than the other teams to be at plus 130 to really justify it. I think the next closest team is around 2-1, which I believe would be the New York Giants, and the Redskins all the way at 4-1. I think both of those teams have more value than the current situation with the Philadelphia Eagles at plus 130. So not really excited too much about those odds. However, like I said, wouldn't fault you for wanting to take them at all, because the Eagles, I think, are definitely at this point in the offseason the best team in the division. But that'll do it for the Philadelphia Eagles. Make sure you check out my other future odds updates on every other 31 teams in the NFL. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of the Sharp Pick.